small wall of defense, which is basically all they have. And it's pretty interesting, the fact that he doesn't have much except for 2 cannons basically defending his front door, and a zealot and a dragoon. So early on, a couple of units like that do a great job of breaking in, and oof, that Templar storming itself in order to get some hits on those mutas, doing a decent job of getting some storm off. 2 more looks like they're going to hang out by the cannons and let the Archon and Corsair fend off that attack. And there's a cannon in the back of the base for Hero. And another expansion going down for Hogil at this point. He's definitely trying to stay ahead economically. He knows that next expansion's going down for Hero. So that's definitely a good idea. Now, double evolution chamber going down and a 5th hatchery. Actually, that's a 6th hatchery going down for Hogil. And Hogil obviously now has Overlord speed, so he'll be pretty well protected against the Corsair harass at this point. And it looks like ranges being upgraded for goons, as well as a robotics facility, probably for observers to watch out for lurkers and the like. And he's going to be going a Templar goon build, it seems, and maybe some observers thrown in there. So muta harassment going on, but again with Psystorm, that's pretty difficult. Now we see some, it looked like 3 lurkers morphing. Nope, 5. I thought the other eggs were for the hatchery, but apparently they were all Hydras turning into lurkers. So now the robotics facility was obviously a good idea for Hero, and wow, very nice storm, catching Hogil off guard. Hogil losing a lot of hit points and 2 mutas on that grouping that he had there. Maybe even more than 2. I only caught 2 though. And Hero looks like he's going to try to press this advantage home a little bit, and he's going to start heading out. And with that Archon there, those mutas are going to have a tough time doing any harassment. And there we see a lurker attacking the front door of Hero. And I don't know if we'll see a storm go off, or he's just going to wait for his observers to pop out. He should probably save his storm for a more important battle. And now it looks like Drop might be coming in with a few mutas. Drop because you see the large grouping of Overlords and the Hydras and Lurkers posed outside the base. So the mutas are going to go check in on that expansion and see what's going. It looks like that expansion's pretty well protected against whatever that drop may contain. That's going to be a tough call, actually, because the lurkers, if they're dropped in a good spot, will hit multiple cannons at once, so it'll be tough to say what will be most effective. And those cannons are going to do a good job of taking out those mutas and turning back that drop. But Hero's going to be ready for this drop now because he knows it's coming, and those cannons were enough to delay it enough just to give him that info. So Hogil losing a little bit on that drop, or lack of a drop, and now he's just going to try to regroup and head in a different position. But I think that at this point Hero's ready for that, and he'll be able to take care of that drop with no problems. And now those mutas kind of scouting out, but again kind of giving away the fact that he's going for a drop. And Hero going to be back fairly quickly with a blown up observer. So he's actually going to have a tough time seeing those lurkers, but it looks like those lurkers are both getting hit, yeah, with that one storm. And ooh, taking out pretty much all that drop very quickly with minimal loss, maybe no more loss than a observer and maybe a Templar. I don't even know if he lost a Templar at that. And there we see a pylon going down at the next expansion for Hero. It looks like he may be planting some cannons or just a scout, one of the two, and he's going to clear out that expansion now. And Hogil's going to have a tough time defending against that because that's a lot of Dragoons. And this is a pretty heavy Dragoon build, which is a good defense against Hydra, along with Storm, of course. They take a good amount of hits from Hydras, and Storm just rips Hydras apart unless you can micro them well enough. So now he's just going to run in there and demolish this little force of Zerg that's there. Of course, storming his own men in the process, but, you know, that's okay. And with that observer there, those lurkers don't do much of anything to that force. I can't see, I don't think he lost more than maybe 1 or 2 units in that skirmish. So Hogil not doing a lot of damage right now. Hive down though, so I'll be interested to see what he decides to go with that. He's got a few options, and not sure what he's going to go, to be honest. He's got a lot of different units out there, and he can do a lot of different things at this point. So Hero going to just kind of clean up any straggling units around the map, get some free kills if he can, and all the while he's going to work on getting his his men closer to Hogil's base and probably press an attack. And a good storm there, or two good storms, taking out a bunch of lings. And I don't know if you know, but goons aren't too good against lings, so obviously a good storm taking out a lot of lings saved a lot of goons. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking that Hogil might be going Dark Swarm, and because he's got a lot of lings and lurkers there, so that'd be a pretty effective combination. Of course, Storm works even in Dark Swarm, so that's not going to work too great. And wow, some very nice storms going off by Hero. Who is this guy, and where did he come from? These are some very good storms, very impressive play, actually, in general. And wow, Hogil just getting caught in like every storm here, and his lurker's taking a ton of hits, and his ooh, there we go, losing an observer there finally, but not before taking out a large force of Hogil's, and he's going to know where these his lurkers are anyway if he decides to storm them, which he may or may not. That's not a given. And there we go, storming another lurker without the observers, but he saw that one actually burrowing, so obviously that makes a lot more sense. So Hogil's going to want to try to get rid of those observers as much as possible, because that's going to spell a lot of trouble for him. If he can't stop those observers, those lurkers are going to be rendered fairly useless. But those hydras are pretty ineffective if they're chasing after well-microed observers that continue to run them through the... And there's a Defiler. Well-microed observers that continue to run and pass all the goons, so they're taking a lot of shots from that. And it looks like Hero's just going to move straight in on Hogil and not wasting any time. Storming and killing. He kills the Defiler right up there. So Hogil in a ton of trouble, and a lot of Zealots now. So even if he does get a good Dark Swarm off, those Zealots are going to handle pretty much anything that he can get thrown at him. So Hogil is going to lose this game. He's in a lot of trouble right now. I think Hero's got decent upgrades on those units as well. Some lings running right by that those straggling Templars, which would have been pretty good to take out, but he's not going to. So Hero's going to take this game. He's definitely in Hogil's face, and Hogil not going to be able to do anything about it. He's got a fair amount of economy and a fair amount of bases, but he just doesn't have the unit production. And against that Storm, which is just murdering his units left and right, he can't do much of anything. And with those Zealots to handle anything that's going in Dark Swarm, he's got no answer to this. And if anything, the Dark Swarm can help his units as they come into this field, because the Hydras can't attack into there. I don't know if the Sunkens can attack in there either, for that matter. I can't remember off the top of my head. Haven't been in that situation in a while. And looks like Hero's just going to pump out this game, take out the tech, and Hogil's going to be forced to GG any minute here. Well played by Hero. I didn't expect him to play that well. Hogil's a decent Zerg player, and Hero just doing a fantastic job of stopping his Zerg game. Getting some more expansions just to ensure his victory, and that's it. That's the game. So again, well played by Hero, well played by Hogil, but not so greatly played by Hogil. Good match though. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next comment.